listen, this culture wants you. This world, it wants you. It wants your soul. It wants you to get lost in everything that you can get lost in today. It wants you to get lost in money. It wants you to get lost in social media. It wants you to get lost in worshiping your own identity and trying to build yourself and trying to build your brand and trying to build your business and trying to get married, trying to find the one, he wants you to get lost in, oh, you don't have this, but you should have that, but you don't have this car, but I'll judge you because you don't have this person. It wants you to get lost in all these things that really, at the end of the day, doesn't really matter. At the end of your life, what impact did you make? What did you do? Whose life did you change because of your existence? Or did you exist for yourself? What's up, family? It's your girl Samantha Lee, and it's another segment of I've Got Something to Say. Y'all have seen me post content where I'm only facially reacting to the video. I have not actually given my verbal opinion about it. And I saw the comments, and y'all were like, why is this girl just looking at the content? She's just facially reacting. We don't even know what she's saying. Okay, here it goes. Your girl's here to do it, okay? So go ahead and click on this video so that we can go ahead and share my perspective, okay? So that is what this is today. So one of my videos that I chose to do, really right now I'm focusing on doing all the most popular videos that have done over 1 million views on my channel. So that's what I'm focusing on. This one is probably the highest viewed video on my platform. It was a video with Russell Brand, and Russell Brand is expressing a human tendency that is found in the Bible. And I think it's really, really interesting because I remember seeing it on Instagram, and that's usually where I go content surfing. And I saw it on Instagram. I'm like, I'm actually surprised that I'm seeing this. And I like what he's saying. I don't know much about this man, but okay. And so I took the video because what he's speaking on and what he's expressing is real. It's real. And we don't talk enough about it. And we don't emphasize it enough. And so I want to take a moment, if you will allow me, to express how I feel about this one. Okay, so I'm gonna add it to the stage again. Let's go.
And it says in the Old Testament, worship no other gods than me. The implication I offer is that we are a species that worships, and if you do not access the divine, you will worship the mundial. You will.
Y'all, this thing is so powerful. This is so powerful. And there's so much I have to say about the entire clip. I haven't played the duration of the clip. Y'all got to watch all the way to the end, okay? Because I haven't played the entire clip, and I need you guys to stay to the very end. This is probably going to be one of the most important videos I do. So let's get into it, family. Y'all thought I forgot to say it. I kind of did, but I remembered. So anyway, he's saying, listen, all throughout the Old Testament, which is 100% true. If you guys have read your Bible, which I 100% believe that anybody that is saying that they are a Christian but has not read the Bible from cover to cover, how can, it's not wise to not know the text that you are saying that you believe and are living your life from. You haven't even read it, but you're taking what other people have interpreted, and you're taking those interpretations, and you may be formulating opinions about other people in the world, and you've never sat down to read the Bible from cover to cover. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm not trying to cast judgment. I'm just saying, do it. Read the Bible for yourself. Don't just take somebody else's opinion, my opinion. Read it for yourself. Okay, so what he's saying is all throughout the Old Testament, which is 100% true, he is asking for his people to worship. And he is warning them against. And this is what the Old Testament, really, the Israelites over and over again found themselves. Pay attention, family. Over and over again, you will find that it's about the Israelites, God's chosen people, constantly falling into this particular sin struggle. They always end up worshiping another god. They end up putting another god or another or a cultural practice. When they get around other nations, there's something that they're doing that they're putting before God, and that's the one thing God cannot do. He can't take it. It's for him, it's adultery. For him, it's like you cheating on me with something that's less than me, that ain't even real, that hasn't delivered you the way I've delivered you, that hasn't created you the way I've created you. And you see over and over again, they keep messing this one thing up. He's asking him over, worship me, put no other God before me, put no other God before me, put no other God before me. And they keep falling into that sin struggle because it was very easy for them as they were journeying along to fall into the trap of things that just were around, that were distracting them. And they started worshiping those things. Okay, so he's not lying here. All facts, no breaks. Let's keep going.
Worship the profane. You will worship your own identity. You will worship your belongings. You will worship the template laid before you by a culture that that gets you distracted and relatively dumb.
Yes. So worship. Let's get into worship. He says in this thing, the feeling or expression of reverence and adoration for a deity. And I had to Google it because I wanted you guys to understand what worship is. The feeling or expression of reverence or adoration for a deity. And I think that there's another one that says to honor or show reverence, to regard with great extravagant respect, honor, devotion. We are created to worship. We are. And whether we realize it or not, we spend our time worshiping things that do not matter every single day. There are people that show reverence to money. They do anything and everything for $1. And I tell you, every time on my platform, every dollar ain't worth bacon. Okay? They will move mountains. They will compromise their family. They will sacrifice their soul. They will do whatever it takes to make $1 million, to be a billionaire. I remember going on a date one time, y'all, and a guy was like, if somebody offered me $1 million to sleep with my wife, I'd tell her she need to go. Take one for the team. I remember him saying, I was like, I will never see you again. Because if you can, that's sacrificing your person to another being for $1. What? That is showing reverence to the dollar. And y'all, we live in a society that shows reverence. When we have social media and attention, we show reverence, adoration. You see it all the time. All of us vying to be worshiped, vying for people to adore us. Show us reverence, worship us. Show me attention. That's the society that we live in today. That we have gotten consumed with either worshiping or being worshiped. And we are not meant to be worshiped. We are mere mortals, imperfect beings. And so he talks about how we've fallen into the same sin struggle that we find in the Old Testament over and over again. And we are confronted with the reality that it's very easy to get distracted in today's world. Whether it's being distracted by social media, being distracted by desperately wanting to get married, right? There's a lot of people that are looking for relationships, looking for the one, looking for that person, looking for my person. They worship that. That's something that's what they're consumed with. That's what they think the most about. Some people, like I said before, is money. And they consume with how I make more money. How do I get more? How do I get that dollar? How do I get this? how can I increase my net worth? What can I do? They're consumed with business ideas. They're consumed with what can I do next to make that quick buck? That's all they think about, and and everything else pales into comparison to the mighty dollar. Like it really doesn't matter what they're asking me to compromise. How much am I making from it? We live in a culture that worships celebrities. You know, I'm not saying anything about specific celebrities, but we know certain celebrities, they are being worshiped. That is straight up worshiping another human being. I ain't gonna say no names because that's not what I'm here to do. But that's worshiping another human being. Mundane is like ordinary. We'll worship things that are resources, they're not the source. And it was very easy for the Israelites as they were traveling along. You know, they would go journey through other foreign nations, and the foreign nations would worship other gods, and they will fall into the trap of worshiping those other gods, and God would get upset, and then there was punishment, and then there was, you know, redemption. And it was kind of like that continuous this pattern of behavior where God would kind of, okay, well, you worship other gods, I'm gonna turn my face from you because you're not worshiping me. And then they would cry out to God, and then He would come back and He would save them, and then they would do it again, and it would be this pattern of behavior over and over again that we saw. And I think that him, Russell Brand, being able to be on this clip and saying, listen, if you read the Bible and you understand it, or understand what you are reading, you'll see that we were created for something, and we were created to worship something. And when we worship the wrong things, we can get lost, very, very, very lost in this world. It is not a mistake that mental health crisis is the way that it is. Y'all, let's not be blind. Let's not act like it's not happening. Let's not we live in a very dark time. We live in a time where there's a lot going on. I don't even watch the news because I already know it's going to mess with my energy. It's going to mess with my peace because it's a bunch of things I can't control, a bunch of negativity. It's just being spewed out every day, every night. I don't know how people watch it, but I don't. Either way, regardless, there's people that whatever we give our energy to, whatever we consume our minds with, when we get down to those things, what are those things for? What is that for us? What is that for us? What are we thinking about? Are we thinking about our relationship with God? Some of y'all may not have a relationship with God. And again, I advocate that you really reconsider that. My relationship with God has brought me to places and spaces in my mind and in my life that I could have never reached on my own. I am not here. I do not have a platform because of me. I have it because of Him. And my relationship with Him, my experience with Him have been so, so very, very real. But I've also been guilty of worshiping the wrong things. Even in my relationships, I consume my thoughts in relationships of pleasing the other person. Not enough about pleasing God. And I found myself lost. Because as soon as that person rejected me, as soon as that relationship didn't work out, as soon as things went left or they weren't pleased or I wasn't validated, immediately my world shattered. I couldn't give mere mortals that type of energy. But we are all created to worship. And He said so clearly, and I'm going to play it again in the end because that needs to be repeated.
For you by a culture deal, you will worship the profane. You will worship your own identity. You will worship your belongings. You will worship the template laid before you by a culture that but gets you distracted and relatively dumb.
I can't even say it better than what he's saying. He's saying that we get lost. This culture has a lot of things that we can get lost in. And if you don't keep your eyes open, you can get lost in it and lose sight of things. And he's saying, listen, this culture wants you. This world, it wants you. It wants your soul. It wants you to get lost in everything that you can get lost in today. It wants you to get lost in money. It wants you to get lost in social media. It wants you to get lost in worshiping your own identity and trying to build yourself and trying to build your brand and trying to build your business and trying to get married, trying to find the one, trying to do. He wants you to get lost in, oh, you don't have this, but you should have that, but you don't have this car, but I'll judge you because you don't have this person. It wants you to get lost in all these things that really, at the end of the day, doesn't really matter. At the end of your life, what impact did you make? What impact? What did you do? Whose life did you change because of your existence? Or did you exist for yourself? Did you exist to find and get worship? Or did you worship the only one that should be worshiped? Y'all, don't get lost. Don't get lost. Don't think that everything is a coincidence. It's not. It's not a coincidence. There is a very real evil force. You don't see people waking up on a Monday bringing guns to an elementary school. That's not normal. That's evil. That's evil. It's a very real evil force. Y'all may think I'm crazy watching this, and that's fine. But it's real. We are created to worship. And the point of this video, for me, is for you to identify what is consuming your thoughts, what is consuming your time. What or who do you worship? What or who do you worship? I want you guys to chase purpose, family. And that means investing your time and energy and your attention, because your attention is expensive, right? You only got so much time. That's the most precious resource you can give somebody. I want you to be fulfilling your purpose. Your purpose, your God-given purpose. I want you to fulfill it. I want you to chase purpose and not get distracted by the things of this world. Because they're enticing and they're tempting, but they're not purpose. God has a specific purpose for you. I don't care where you are right now. I don't know who I'm talking to. Maybe you needed this encouragement today. Maybe you've been consuming yourself with the wrong things and you feel negative. Y'all, when I don't consume myself with content that is building my spirit and my soul up, I feel negative. I feel it. I feel that I haven't spent enough time with God. I feel it. And I'm like, okay, I gotta listen to some content that is gonna shift my spirit back into its right place. But maybe you're feeling heavy. Maybe you don't feel like you have purpose. And I would ask you, what are you worshiping? What are you consuming your time with? What are you thinking about the most? And sometimes you'll realize that what you're consuming yourself with is what's keeping you from. If it isn't God. If it isn't chasing purpose. Some of us are consumed in worship comfort, worship control, worship ego, worship pride, worship status, worship fame, worship money, worship another human being, worship social media, worship attention. How do I get more attention? That's the kind of culture we live in now. What do? I need more, 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 I need more. It's insatiable. I want to thank Russell Brand for this video, and I'm going to play it all the way through. This is unlike any other one that I've done. I'm going to play it all the way through because I think his message is important. Okay? So let me go ahead. Let's play it again.
And it says in the Old Testament, worship no other gods than me. The implication I offer is that we are a species that worships. And
Yes.
if you do not access the divine,
Yes.
you will worship the mundial. You will worship the profane. You will worship your own identity. You will worship your belongings. You will worship the template laid before you by a culture that that gets you distracted and relatively dumb.
Oof. And he says relatively dumb, y'all. Ooh, and that's true. When we are distracted by the wrong things, y'all, we become ignorant of the things that we need to be paying attention to. Some of us are so distracted that we are not paying attention. We getting caught slipping. All right, family. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, it's one of my deeper videos, but this is one that really, it means a lot to me, y'all. God is my publicist. And I would not have a platform without him. And so I'm going to be putting up content that relates to him, that relates to my relationship with him, because I think it's the most important relationship I have. And I think, I want everybody to have it. I want everyone to have it. Because it's giving me purpose. I'm not going to cry. It's giving me purpose. It's giving me strength. It's giving me direction. It's giving me hope. It's giving me a future. It's giving me assurance. It's giving me validation. It's filled my cup. And I thank God for it every single day. All right. All right, family. I'm out. I love y'all. I will see you in my next video, for I've got something to say. All right. See you soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching this video. I appreciate you guys. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button, y'all. Let's not just be every once in a while. Let's become family, okay? Friends that are family, okay? Join my family today.